Welcome to Movie House Cinemas. Popcorn? Yes, please. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the movie. Reclining chairs? Don't mind if I do. Action, thriller, romance, we got it all. Discover the cinema today. Movie House Cinemas, home of the movies.
Good evening, and welcome along to Rob and Elliott tonight. Good to have your company with us once again. Coming up on the show, we'll be chatting to Dame Arlene Phillips. We're talking about why 100 is now the new 80 and why planning for a longer life is more important than ever before.
200% of the population by 2050, when I probably won't be there, can be living till 100 plus.
We'll also be taking a look at the new solo art exhibition from artist Stephen Whalley.
I mean, it's places where I would go and walk or take my family or go on a sort of small trip or holiday. So, and it appeals to lots of people from here because they're doing the same thing as what I am, you know.
We'll be out and about and talking to writer Paul McVeigh about his brand new writer's residency at the Harrison Hotel here in Belfast.
So we really love this idea of this year expanding out around the world and having Irish writers and UK writers being kind of influenced by writers from all around the world, because sometimes we can be a bit insular.
We'll find out about this year's Walk to Scotland with Colin Barkley from the Northern Ireland Children to Lapland and Days to Remember Trust.
It started in 2008, so we've been going since then, and the main thing is our annual trip to Lapland, which this year is on Monday the 16th of December.
Kim Kelly is out and about doing some shopping on Belfast's Lisburn Road.
That's beautiful. This is going to match actually a dress that I have for a wedding. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Not a mark on it. I love it. It's perfect. I'll take it.
Writer Dominic Montague tells us all about Aurora, the new show from Prime Cut Productions.
So if you're a fan of animation or a fan of gaming or a fan of theatre or a fan of trees or a fan of badgers, actually, you know, there's something in there for everybody, hopefully.
And we'll have some brand new music from Caillin Joe. So we get all that to look forward to on the latest episode of Rob and Elliott tonight. But as always, let's begin by taking a look back at some of the quirky news stories of the week. And Kim Kelly, for once, she's not with us in the studio, and I caught up with Kim earlier today. Here's what happened.
I am at a secret location in East Belfast. And look at the sunshine. I actually wanted to show you the sunshine today. You can see it glimpsing through the yard.
Yeah, for autumn, yeah, exactly. What is going on?
Probably when it probably start raining, but you know, sure.
Exactly. But you couldn't be bothered coming in today, so you're working from home today.
I'm not going to lie, I couldn't be bothered, Robin. That's just it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to work from home because I generally do work from home. So from here, I'm wearing clothes and then I've got pajama bottoms on. No, I have.
Let's talk news stories. We're starting off with Gary the Goose. Tell me all about him.
There is a very clever goose who's called Gary the Goose, and he's been taking a gander at the shops of the town of March in Cambridgeshire. Now, Gary is part of a flock of geese that's lived there for about 11 or 12 years, and they're very well known. But recently, Gary has wanted to go to the shops, and like every good goose, he's using the pedestrian crossing. He's using the zebra crossing, in fact, so he stands and he waits. And then the traffic all stops and he waddles. This is not me doing a waddling, okay? And then he waddles across the zebra crossing, stopping the traffic as he goes. And I just thought that now answers the age-old question, why did the goose cross the road to get to the shops?
There you go. Yes, there you are. Punchline and everything today.
Quite a sight. He really is. I think that's sweet that he's, so safety conscious. And actually, when I'm looking out of my window and see people running across the road and not using the zebra crossing, take a leaf out of Gary's book
I was thinking about that the other day. Does the Green Cross Code Man still exist? Remember when we were kids, we were taught about the Green
No,
Cross Code?
don't think he's existed since maybe like 1978, but you know, people who watch this show and me, of course, do remember him. Now, am I right in thinking, was it Alvin Stardust that did that?
It was Alvin Stardust was in the advert, but the Green Cross Code Man was actually a guy called Dave Prowse, who was the guy who played Darth Vader in Star Wars.
Do you remember all those ads that used to be around whenever we were younger? And it was like, you know, don't touch the electricity pylon, and then with the frisbee fly up, and it was like electricity can jump, and it put the absolute fear of God. Like, I'm never getting into a swimming pool after eating dinner. You know what I mean? Like those were very harsh messages. So what are our children? We need to show our children those messages.
But in his later years, when Dave Prowse was the Green Cross Code Man, he was touring primary schools, because I met him when I was at primary school as the Green Cross Code Man. Now, I was more excited that he was Darth Vader than the Green Cross Code Man, but I met the guy. I met him.
Is there anything similar for children? Do you remember the Tufty Club?
Yes.
He had a colour in, he was a little squirrel, and it was all English. Now, I'm not sure that all schools got it. Probably only state schools had that, because probably other schools in Northern Ireland had something else. But we had this little colouring thing, and it was a squirrel. And then Mr. Policeman, who wore like an English policeman's outfit randomly, because then that was a bit odd, because we lived in Northern Ireland, and we're like, our policemen don't look like that. In fact, I remember once getting told off in primary school for colouring in his uniform green. And the teacher went, no, his uniform's blue. And I remember thinking, but the parallel universe that we grew up in Northern Ireland. Was just...
Exactly. Let's move on from Northern Ireland to Minnesota this time.
Yes, now there's a horticulture teacher there who has retained his title of the heaviest pumpkin owner for the 4th year in a row. Now he's called Travis Granger, and he's from Minnesota, and he clinched victory at the 51st World Championship Pumpkin Way Off near San Francisco. So his winning pumpkin came in at around 176 stone.
Wow.
Which is about, like, he fell short of his title that he set the year before, when his pumpkin weighed nearly 200 stone. He says the secret to a good pumpkin is healthy soil and well-fed plants.
Wow. There you go.
Actually, this is the other thing about growing up in Northern Ireland / the north of Ireland. We didn't have pumpkins. We had turnips.
Yes.
When was the first time we saw pumpkins? And this is a sort of a new thing that everyone's like, pumpkins. Like, I was born in 1974, right? I don't think I saw a pumpkin till about the year 2004.
You're right.
And all of a sudden, we're all like pretending that we grew up with pumpkins. We didn't.
Yeah.
They were turnips, or as the English call them, Swedes. Isn't that what they call them?
That's, yeah.
My sister lives in England, she calls them Swedes. And they were so hard to carve. Where did the pumpkins come from?
Why do we not have pumpkins before 2004?
But yet we all pretend, and we all take, you know, everyone takes their kids to pumpkin patches. Didn't exist.
In America, and I was there, I was in Nashville recently, and for Halloween they have pumpkin trees, like Christmas trees, but with pumpkins hanging off them.
They don't grow on trees, do they? No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Pumpkin even grow? Does it grow out of the ground? I don't know.
It don't grows in the ground. It must do, mustn't it?
Clearly, I'm not from like a farming background, am I? I'm from North Antrim. I'm not really from a farming background.
So will you be trick-or-treating then for Halloween?
I don't know. Some places do it and some places don't they? Round where I'm from, Portrush, it was never really a big thing. But then if you've been to Derry, all flat trick-or-treating. It really depends from neighbourhood to neighbourhood, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? And what about if the little kids come round and knock on your door? Do you have sweets ready, or do you just not answer it at all?
Of course I answer. I'm nice. I have sweets ready, but please do come round to my house, because otherwise the stuff sits there and then I end up eating it.
Ah, I see.
And that's not good for me or for my teeth.
Exactly. Let's do one more story. We're talking celebrity friends now, aren't we?
So who would you like to be your celebrity best friend? A new survey reveals that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift have been voted the celebrities that the public would most like to be friends with. I don't know if I want to be friends with either of them ever. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, is he the one from the Barbie movie? Or is that Ryan Gosling? I always get Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling mixed up.
He's the one with the football team, isn't he?
Yeah, I get those two mixed up. They're kind of blend into one American, you know. Third on the list came Dawn French from Vicar of Dibley fame, who I think will be good crack. Robin clearly knows a story.
I've interviewed Dawn and Jennifer before.
Are they kind of lovies? Are they kind of like darling, like, and they talk about their art? I hate that. Whenever you're hoping for a whole carry on.
It wasn't like what you see on TV. It wasn't like what we're used to. Yeah.
That's very disappointing whenever you meet a celebrity and you think they're going to be massive crack. And in actual fact, they talk about their art and you're like, Yeah, nobody wants to hear this.
Most comedians aren't funny when you interview them.
Not even remotely funny.
No.
With the exception of Roy Walker, who's a hoot.
Roy Walker's great. Roy's great. And Tim McGarry's always good on the show.
Anyway, other people on the list of our people we want to be friends with: David Beckham. I kind of would like to be friends with him. Who wouldn't? Jennifer Aniston, boring. And Alison Hammond.
What?
And the last one, Prince William. Personally, I'd rather be friends with Prince Harry, but
Well, exactly. Yes, yeah.
because he'd be fun on a night out.
Here's one for you. Who's the most your celebrity friend that you have in your phone book in your phone? Who's the biggest celebrity name in your phone?
For a while, I had Harry Styles' number in my
Did you?
because I interviewed him whenever he was much younger. We exchanged numbers about something or other. I can't remember. It was something really trivial about dogs or something, and I had to send him a picture. And I had his number for ages, but I never gave it to anybody. And I'd actually forgotten until you just asked me. But I mean,
Wow.
I'm quite sure he's changed his number.
And I was going to say Louis Walsh is in my phone book.
Let's ring him now, live on air.
So there we go. Well, as always, thank you so much.
I'm going to get out in the sunshine because I think it's going to rain, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, happy Halloween as well to you.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
We're talking art next, and Stephen Whalley has just launched a solo exhibition at his art gallery in East Belfast. I went along to the opening night. Here's what happened. Stephen, here we are. It's a big night tonight, your big solo exhibition. You must be looking forward to it then.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a couple of years now, and I've been putting a lot of work away from it, or for it, and I kept putting it off, and tonight we've literally got nearly 80 paintings now on display, so fingers crossed we'll have a few sales.
So a lot of hard work must have gone into getting the room set up and ready for tonight.
Okay, yeah, we sort of cleared everything, and then I sort of knew what I had to do as far as hanging wise. I've actually framed all the pictures as well, so I've been framing, my hands are sore from doing that, but it's nice to get the sort of big work here and to be able to put it on the wall to show the scale of it. Yes. And then I've had everything right down to sort of small postcard size oils on display here as well. So and all over different places in Northern Ireland.
Well, that's the thing. The first thing you notice is the iconic landscapes of Northern Ireland, of Belfast, of the North Coast. It's all recognisable places.
Absolutely. I mean, it's places where I would go and walk or take my family or go on a sort of small trip or holiday. So and it appeals to lots of people from here because they're doing the same thing as what I am, you know.
Tell us about the one behind us here. We all know that's the famous Harland and Wolff cranes. I know Belfast obviously has a special place in your heart.
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, I'm from Belfast, and my dad was actually a plater in the shipyard for 45 years. Wow. So the cranes are always a meaning to me every time I drive past them. But I sort of like this one here because everybody always would paint the cranes in yellow, and I just thought, you know what, I'll do a nice large silhouette type painting of the cranes just to make it a wee bit different.
So what about a painting like this? How long would this take to actually complete then?
It's completed over the space of maybe a few nights really. Right. I would paint it for a few hours and paint the background or the background of the sky, and then I would let it dry for a couple of weeks, and then I would just approach it again. Okay. And I do it in different layers of oil then, and it builds it right up to, as you see, the black that's here to make the silhouette was put on at the very end then, and it just punched it all out and made it look amazing.
Excellent. Okay, let's take a little walk down, have a look at some of these other paintings down here as well. I recognise this place. This is Port Stewart, I think, isn't it?
Yes, Port Stewart Strand. Again, I've been down there with my family and walking around, and obviously recently the skies there with the auroras and things like that. The light is just amazing there. So I love painting down there from all angles and from different sort of aspects, from especially with Muzzleton Temple. There's a lot of that in my work.
Exactly. So where did your love for art start then? I mean, I think you were at it right from a very young age, weren't you?
Yeah, I won a competition when I was 5, and I won a big pack from a chemist that was nationwide, and I ended up getting presented a big art pack in the cathedral years ago, and then I went on, and I was always good at art in school, and went on from that, and ended up going to art college then for 4 years, And I came out and actually started my own building company years ago, and because I loved using my hands, and I love the 3D element, and I think in the paintings now that sort of comes through because I do love all the texture and that thickness of the oil, because it makes the paintings quite 3D and quite sort of lifelike in a way, but they're still quite abstract.
Yeah, and of course it's not just paintings you're famous for now. There's the whole gift selection, and of course the pocket ties, which I have many of as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I looked down the road as well. Being an artist is a difficult profession to be in, and you've got to go down all different avenues to put your work out there and let lots of people see it. The giftware, again, about 10 years ago, I put all my stuff on products, and a lot of the visitor centres and things took them around Northern Ireland. And then I went into the silk because I wanted a present that someone could take home, possibly more on the male side, because they didn't want to sort of give them something from here that it wasn't. So a pocket square was what I thought of originally. But I've one of my jackets actually has one of my paintings in it here tonight.
Wow,
so so I sew all the silk in from different sort of paintings that I have.
Brilliant. Okay, let's take a walk down and see what else we have here as well. This one, of course, is the Carrick-a-Reid rope bridge, which is iconic throughout the world now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember crossing that when I was a wee boy, and that's one of the reasons actually why I painted it. And I just love all those rocks, and I just loved using that sort of mint green, and all the colours seemed to work really well with it. But this one did take a while now. I sort of worked on it, let it dry, and it only came to fruition there on last Friday night, and framed this week. So it's all sitting on the wall, ready to go.
And then just behind me here, we've got the Hollywood Jetty as well.
Yeah, this is one of my favourites actually of the show. It was actually on the show invitation. It stands sort of 1 metre by 1.5 metres tall. And I just thought years ago the jetty was sort of falling apart, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to paint that because someday it might not be there, because it's made of wood. So, but I've captured all the light just vanishing over the far side there, past Carrick there. So I love this one.
Okay, so obviously you're hoping to shift a few of these tonight, but as well as that, can people come and visit this over the next few weeks or so?
Okay, I'm going to be here, and the gallery's always open. We live not too far away as well, so we're always back and forward. And the show will be on probably around the end of November now. So.
Brilliant. And of course, it's not just these big paintings as well. You've got lots of little smaller size ones as well.
Yeah, well, I've went from the very large scale right down to small sort of postcard size ones there that people can sort of buy as presents as well, and from all over the place. I've even ones at Donegal and places again that I've visited. So I'm sure there's something in there for everyone.
Brilliant. If people can't make it down here, all your stuff is online as well, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, on my website, stephenwhalley.com. So I've everything got online now for everybody to view if they can't get here, So brilliant.
Well, the best of luck with the exhibition, and thank you so much for having us tonight.
Thank you, Robin. Take care. Thanks.
So if you get a chance, check out that fabulous art exhibition. Still to come, we're talking theatre. We're going to find out about Prime Cut Productions' brand new show, Aurora, which opens at the Mac. And we're talking to Colin Barkley from the Northern Ireland Children to Lapland and Days to Remember Trust, all about this year's Walk to Scotland. We'll do that right after these.
Heading to the North Coast? The Jet Centre in Coleraine offers entertainment for everyone. There's an 8-screen movie house cinema with all the best movies, 10-pin bowling, a massive arcade, soft play for the wee ones. Outdoors, there's a mini fun park and gem mining, plus an 18-hole floodlit mini golf course. Rain or shine, there's something for everyone here at the Jet Centre. Find out more at thejetcentre.co.uk.
And welcome back to Robin Elliott tonight. We're going to find out about one of Northern Ireland's biggest fundraising events now. It's been organised by the Northern Ireland Children to Lapland and Days to Remember Trust. It's called A Walk to Scotland, and I'm pleased to say the chairman of the charity, Colin Barkley, joins us in the studio. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, thank you, Robin. Nice to be here. Thanks
for having me. Good to see you. Your annual visit to the studio here.
Yes, it seems to be that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
Before we talk about the big event, remind us about the Northern Ireland Children to Lapland and Days to Remember Trust, about the work that you do.
Okay, well, it started in 2008, so we've been going since then, and the main thing is our annual trip to Lapland. which this year is on Monday the 16th of December. We charter our own plane. We're the only charity in the world that does that. This year it's a 189-seater because that's the biggest that they have available, and so we fill that with maybe 70 or 80 children, each with a parent or carer, possibly two, plus loads of doctors and nurses, etc. And we're into Lapland, and with the whole snow experience, reindeer, huskies, the whole Santa thing, and it is just the most magnificent day. It really is.
That sounds amazing. And for kids who can't go on that, you've organised some Disney trips recently as well.
Yeah, well, we've now done 4 trips to Euro Disney, and I think the feedback of that has been so good. I think we're going to have that as an annual event as well. So as long as the funds keep coming in, I think the plan will be always to do Lapland and also to do Disney.
Well, that's the thing. I would imagine it costs a hell of a lot of money to put those events on.
It does. We probably have to raise somewhere in the region of £200,000 a year.
Wow.
We get no government funding. It's all either self-funded by events that we organise, but equally people are so generous with us. We have 8 corporate partners who give every year. We have people who organise events for us, doing marathons, doing abseils, doing whatever. And that leads us to our walk to Scotland.
Now, when they approached me, I'm doing it this year.
Brilliant.
And when they first said to me, will you do the walk to Scotland? I went, not in a million years am I going to walk to Scotland. But it's a lot easier than that, isn't it?
It is. It was our founder, Chairman Jack Rogers' idea. And the trick is we walk round and round the Stena boat as it sails from Belfast to Stranraer. And I have to be honest and say some people stop at the bar occasionally on the way round on the circuit, but mainly they walk all the way to Stranraer. Then we have lunch, and then we have a cabaret show on the way back. So not only is it raising money, but it's a fabulous fun day out.
And you've got some great acts on. My good friend Fiddler Adam, I see, is on the bill.
Fiddler Adam's on the bill. Jerry Kelly is our president, and Jerry will be there. Fiddler Adam, and actually Fiddler's sister Donna Duffin is also on, and she's a wonderful singer, so there'll be a bit of a sing-along with Donna. And then Cormac, whether the tide is up, he'll have the boat rocking.
Definitely. So who can take part in this then?
Basically everyone.
Yeah.
We like people, if they're coming on board, to raise at least £100 in sponsorship. There are some seats or places available for children or non-walkers, so it can be a family day out.
Yeah.
Go to our website, nichildrentolapland.com, go on to fundraising, and everything is there. You can download a sponsorship form, you can register online, there's a Just Giving page. We try and make it as easy as possible, but it really is a family fun day out. And because this year we're on Sunday the 17th of November, it's the start of the Christmas run-in.
Yes.
And that's how a lot of people view it.
Excellent. Of course, we'll want to fundraise for other events as well for you. I'm sure all the details are on your website there as well.
Everything is there. It tells you all about who we are, what we do, and why we do it.
Brilliant. And you're back to Lapland just before Christmas as well?
Monday the 16th of December this year, we're off again with that 189-seater, and it is just the most amazing day.
Brilliant. Well, the best of luck with that, and I look forward to seeing you on the boat.
On the boat, exactly. 10 a.m, Sunday the 17th. We'll see you at the Stena Line boat.
See you there.
Thanks, Robin.
Right, so many great events happening throughout Belfast at the moment as part of the Belfast International Arts Festival. Prime Cup Productions are back with a new show called Aurora, a modern myth that runs at the MAC from the 24th of October until the 2nd of November. And I caught up with writer Dominic Montague. So I'm here outside the MAC to find out about a brand new production from Prime Cup Productions. It's called Aurora, and it opens on the 24th of October. Dominic Montague is the man behind it all, and he's going to tell us all about the show. Dominic, this is something that's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, we're hoping to do something that's a bit groundbreaking. So we've been working with the University of Ulster with their animation and gaming department to try and create a theatre production that is animated and really immersive and something very visual, a real treat for the audience.
So there is a story behind it, obviously, as well. So what's the kind of main story behind it then?
Yeah, the story follows our main character, Cass, who is on a mission to save a good friend of hers from a planned development from being felled as part of that. Now, the friend in question is a tree. So in order to save her friend, she changed herself to the tree, and she live streams her entire life from there in the hopes that that can galvanise some way to save the tree going forward.
Okay, now you've got a fabulous cast involved in this as well, haven't you?
We do indeed. We have Megan Tyler playing Cass, we have Thomas Finnegan playing Drew, we have Conor O'Donnell playing Con, and we have Maria Connolly playing the interrogator and also playing the Badger. which is a big part of the show. So there is a fully walking, talking animated badger that features during the show as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously this is part of the Belfast International Arts Festival. I mean, there's amazing stuff happening right throughout the city at the moment, isn't there?
Oh, it's fantastic. The festival really brings such life to the city, and there's so many great productions and great pieces of work that are on as part of it. So it's a real privilege and a pleasure to be part of that schedule.
So as well as the acting, as well as the animation in the show, music plays a big part as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's 3 different worlds coming together. So the world of the actors, the world of the animation, and then the sonic and musical world created by Katie Richardson. So she's created a beautiful soundscape that goes throughout the show, and real moments of musical brilliance and beauty as well.
So for Aurora then, who should come and see this show?
Everybody. I would say everybody. Everybody, we've kind of geared it from the ages of 14 up. But it's really interesting, something new. So if you're a fan of animation, or a fan of gaming, or a fan of theatre, or a fan of trees, or a fan of badgers, actually, you know, there's something in there for everybody, hopefully.
So 24th of October is the opening date, isn't it?
Yes, 24th of October up until the 2nd of November.
All right, brilliant. Well, the best of luck with the show.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still to come, we're chatting to choreographer Dame Arlene Phillips, and we're talking to writer Paul McVeigh at the Harrison Hotel right after these.
Here we are on the north coast, where sporting legends are made. He needs this putt to advance to the next stage, but can he do it? The crowd are holding their breath. Can he cope with the pressure?
Dad, would you take the shot?
Yes! Well. And welcome back to Rob and Elliott tonight. Now, if you're a budding writer, there's a very special writers' retreat coming soon. It's taking place at the fabulous Harrison Hotel in Belfast, and I caught up with writer Paul McVeigh and also Melanie Harrison to find out more. Melanie, thank you so much for having us here today. And I mean, this is just the perfect place for a writer's retreat, isn't it?
Yeah, each one of our rooms is themed after a writer or artist or a creative person who's from Belfast.
So for people who haven't been here, name some of the famous names you've named the rooms after.
So we've got the C.S. Lewis, we've got the Yeats, we've got the John Hewitt, who actually lived in the house in the 30s. We've got Anthony Trollope, we've got Van Morrison.
And of course, when you walk in here, I mean, you can almost feel the history in these rooms.
Yeah, the whole building is historic significance. John Cleaver lived here with his 8 children back in 1879 when it was a whole row of Victorian merchants' houses. Then it transformed into apartments called Bachelor's Row, and that's when John Hewitt lived here. And then more recently then in the 60s, 70s, it was all offices. So I've restored them all back again just to celebrate people who have shaped Belfast and around the world, sort of past and present.
So it must have taken some time to do the restoration in here, because the attention to detail is just amazing.
Well, I absolutely love collecting all pieces of interest, so it's been a lifelong passion. It's stuff that I've collected over the years, and yeah, it's just a real pleasure and hobby to do that.
So it must be good to see the hotel getting kind of worldwide recognition on various sites and winning awards and stuff now.
Yeah, we've had a lot of coverage this year, especially in the Condé Nast. We won a National Geographic Prize when we opened. We've been in the Telegraph, the Sunday Times, and yeah, it's great to see wee Belfast on the world stage.
And you're expanding as well. The hotel is getting bigger.
Yeah, we're basically doubling in size. There'll be 11 new rooms and suites. There's going to be a piano bar for residents. We're going to have a beautiful lounge as well for people who want to have more of a chilled out time just to sit and read a book. New kitchens, new dining areas. So I'm really excited, and of course I'm excited about the new characters which are going to be revealed very soon.
Okay, we can't wait to hear about those as well. And of course you've got the Writers' Retreat happening once again this year.
Yeah, it was a really good success last year, and Paul and I decided that we'd branch out and do it UK and Ireland wide this year. I'm getting great response, and what nicer place to write than in front of these gorgeous bay windows and this nice light. I think it's quite inspirational, so I'm delighted to host them all here.
Exactly. Well, we'll be chatting to Paul in just a second, but in the meantime, Melanie, thank you so much for having us here tonight.
And thanks for coming.
So, Paul, the first thing it strikes your mind when you come into one of these rooms, these are so creative, these rooms, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, the first time I was here, I actually spent a week, and it was during lockdown, and the hotel hadn't really opened before lockdown came in. It was closed down, so Mel said, come and stay here and write for a while, and I actually got to stay in every room. And it was just an amazing experience and very inspirational, as you say, yes.
Yeah. Now, the room we're in at the minute is the Hans Sloane room. He was the guy that invented chocolate, wasn't he?
Well, yes, I mean, and I've probably given his family a lot of business in my time. Yeah.
Tell us about the retreat. It's back for a second year, and last year was such a big success, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. We just couldn't believe what a great success, and we focused on Northern Irish writers helping emerging writers from Ireland.
Yeah.
And this year we decided to actually widen our scope, and we opened the residency to, well, first start three writers will get to come, and we've opened it to writers from all around the UK and Ireland. And we're really hoping that the writers that we've asked to mentor our emerging writers, they're from one of them's from West Indies, and one's from Trinidad, one's from Australia. So we really love this idea of this year expanding out around the world and having Irish writers and UK writers being kind of influenced by writers from all around the world. Because sometimes we can be a bit insular. Yes. So it's a way of just trying to kind of mixing all of those styles of writing and getting access to writers you would never dream of because they live so far away and things. So it's a very exciting time.
So who are you targeting then to come to this retreat? Is it new writers? Is it people with experience? Who gets involved then?
It's new writers, so you can't have had your own book published yet, because we sort of reckon by that stage you'll have learned all of the tricks of the trade. Yeah. So this is for 3 writers who are just on that cusp. You know, they've written some things. They're dedicated to writing, so it's not like someone who's doing it as a hobby. Yeah. It's someone who's dedicated, who's working really hard, because as well as getting to come here and write, you get to work with 5 extraordinary writers. I mean, we've got Wendy Erskine from here, we've got Kit Duval, who's won loads of awards, and we've also got an industry package, so that when they leave, they're not just left to kind of go and flounder out and push them out of the nest. Yes. They're going to have industry help with membership to writing organisations. They get to have about 20,000 words of their work in progress assessed by like professionals, and with giving them loads of directions, and one-on-one industry help from experts about career management and where to go. So it really is a complete package. Yeah. And very unique. There's nothing like it out there.
I think when you talk about career management, that's the big thing as well, because it must be even more difficult than ever before now to get a book actually published by a publisher.
It is really hard. And not only that, it's when you get a book published, it's such a shock because you're not prepared for things. For example, when I had my novel come out, I thought this will be in every bookshop. Well, that's not quite how it works, you know. And you think, oh, you know, suddenly I'm going to be a millionaire, you know, like everybody's. But that's not how it works either, you know. So the average debut novelist only gets £1,000 for their work, and they could have been working on it for 3 or 4 years. So you have to be prepared for some shocks, and also then how to manage that. What are the other ways of earning money? There are ways like interviewing authors at literary festivals, running workshops, doing reviews and things like that. So it helps them give a wider idea of what life is like as a writer and how you might earn money.
Here in Belfast as well, we've got some really good bookstores around there. And I'm thinking places like No Alibis are doing great business, aren't they?
Yeah, and listen, they are not only an amazing bookshop, but a real champion of Northern Irish writers. I mean, they practically hand-sewed my book, for a year, and put it beside their till and sort of coax people to buy it, and I mean, they were a massive part of the success of my book. Yeah. But they are involved also in the residency. So they, David from Noel Buys gives them a session on books that they might read that will help them on their writing journey. So that they like magic realism, they might put them towards our own John Carson from here, or international authors. And so he helps them do that. And there's also £50 worth of books that each person gets as well. I mean, they get so much that it's really quite a unique, extraordinary thing. But the star of the show is the hotel, really.
Yes,
I mean, it's absolutely amazing to get to spend that time here, and they get all their food covered and their travel from around the UK to here. Wendy Erskine, the amazing East Belfast writer, is going to be here to welcome them with a few drinks on their first day, and to sort of help them kind of plan what they might get out of the week. So they really are spoiled.
Okay, so if people want to get involved then, how do they go about doing that?
Well, if you go onto the Harrison website, you'll find the Paul McVeigh residency on there, and you have until October 31st. So it's we're going to be pushing that now. So get it in, but you send in a sample of your work, and there is an entrance fee this year, which wasn't last year. Last year I ended up paying a lot of it out of my own pocket. So this year I decided I needed to have an entrance fee, but. Again, quite a unique aspect is that we've got you get 2 free Zoom sessions for that £15, which would cost you probably about £90 in reality. One is with the head of the literary consultancy on how to edit your work, and another one is with an actor, Tony Flynn from Blue Lights, who's going to give them a little talk on how to read your work live. So that's what you get for your entrance fee.
Brilliant. So it's well worth doing then. What about you? Any plans in the pipeline? Anything big? Any new books on the horizon?
Yes, finally. I've finally got another book out, and it's coming out in March, and it's called I Hear You. And it's 13 stories, all set in Belfast, all short stories that have all been commissioned by BBC Radio Ulster and then ended up on BBC Radio 4. There was a story that I was commissioned to write for Christmas Day, another one that came out in Easter. I could turn out to be like the Hallmark guy for short stories if this keeps up. You just pick any holiday and I'll write something. We do Halloween now. There.
Brilliant. So we look forward to that in March. Paul, the best of luck with this year's residency.
So thank you so much for taking the time to come out, and we're looking forward to seeing this on.
Right, time now to take a look and see what's happening throughout Belfast and beyond on this week's What's On Guide. And we're starting off in Newton Ards with the Ards Puppet Festival, and they're celebrating the animal kingdom this half-term. So this takes place at Ards Arts Centre from the 27th until the 28th of October. And the autumn-themed festival has been organised by Ards and North Down Borough Council, and they will welcome a packed programme celebrating animals of all shapes and sizes through puppetry, performances, workshops, and even a puppet petting farm. Check out the full programme and book your tickets on the website, which is on your screens right now. Of course, it is getting ever closer to Halloween, and this Halloween, why not explore the McConnell's Distillery at Crumlin Road Jail in the company of a paranormal investigator to learn about the historic whiskey brand while also bringing old spirits back to life. And this special tour includes a McConnell's Brew drinks reception, signature serve with 3 drams, as well as a reserved seating at a Q&A with a ghost hunter and chair of the Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association, Warren Coates, and I'll be there hosting that Q&A as well. For more details and to book your tickets, just head over to the website mcconnellsirishwhiskey.com. We're moving on to theatre, and one of this year's must-see performances is currently taking the Belfast International Arts Festival by storm. We're talking about the tragedy of Richard III, which continues at Belfast Lyric Theatre until the 10th of November. To book your tickets for that, just head over to the Lyric box office, lyrictheatre.co.uk. Now, staying with the Lyric, and we're talking about Yerma this time. And Tinderbox Theatre Company invite you to join a dysfunctional family function with Yerma, a wickedly funny and compelling adaptation of Lorca's iconic play. For more details and to book your tickets, lyrictheatre.co.uk is the website to go to. Now, staying with the Belfast International Arts Festival, and we're heading over to the Grand Opera House this time for Blues and Ballads, which takes place on Tuesday, the 29th of October. And this is a very special concert with blues legends Paul Jones and Dave Kelly, along with Irish singer-songwriter Freddie White and special guests, the Ulster Orchestra. Now, from the 31st of October until the 2nd of November at the Grand Opera House, Cahoots NI are back with The Vanishing Elephant. And this story is set in the heart of Bengal, when a young boy dreams of becoming an elephant trainer, and when he befriends an Asian elephant, the friendship is the first step on an adventure so huge that it spans decades and continents. And on their separate paths, they face fearsome encounters, stormy seas, and strange new worlds. And finally, for now, if you want to catch a movie in cinemas this week, there's plenty of scary things going on for Halloween, including a chance to see the 40th anniversary of A Nightmare on Elm Street, taking us back to the first time when we met Freddy Krueger. And talking about classic Halloween movies, Halloween 4K, the restoration, is also showing at Movie House Cinemas this week. Of course, taking us into the mad world of mad killer Michael Myers. Of course, the very first Halloween movie starred Donald Pleasance and a very young Jamie Lee Curtis. Here's a clip.
All right, the boogeyman can only come out on Halloween night, right?
Right.
Well, I'm here tonight. I'm not about to let anything happen to you.
Still to come, we'll be chatting to Dame Arlene Phillips, but before that, Kim Kelly is out and about on the streets of Belfast doing what she does best, shopping. We sent her along to check out the brand new Concern Worldwide charity boutique on Belfast's Lisburn Road.
Now, this is a charity shop unlike any other. It doesn't look like a charity shop. This is the Concern Worldwide Boutique on the Lisburn Road, and it really is quite something. I'm here with Jane Hodgers, who's the store manager of this new Concern Boutique. Jane, what a beautiful place. Tell us all about it.
Thank you so much. This is a new flagship store for Concern. We have several other retail stores in Northern Ireland, and this is our first experiment at boutique retail. Yes. As you can see, we have a lot of high street, some vintage, some beautiful curated pieces of high-end garments. And we've been open since Monday afternoon, and I'm going to have to say it's been flying out the doors. We've had so much support from the local community. And Concern, actually, we here in Northern Ireland are 3% of the UK population, and we provide 50% of the funds for Concern UK, which is an incredible figure.
That is incredible, isn't it? And it's great that these clothes are going to good use, because I think the word on everybody's lips right now is sustainable. Tell me about, if anybody wants to leave off clothes, they can just leave them here like a standard charity shop.
Absolutely, we would be delighted, and this is a call to action to ask our local community to help us out here. If you know of anybody who wants to volunteer, dropping off clothes donations, maybe a bit of time to go out collecting. There's so many ways to help this charity, and definitely if you've got some nice things lurking around the back of the wardrobe, as we all do, you know, as you said, sustainable fashion. There's enough clothes in the world to clothe us all for 10 years without any more being manufactured. It's an imperative, I think.
Aileen, tell me about the work that Concern does across the world.
So Concern works in a number of programmes throughout the world. We work with the 26th of the poorest and most fragile countries throughout the world through our humanitarian and emergency programmes. So in 2023, for example, we reached over 30 million people throughout our humanitarian relief and emergency programmes.
That is amazing. So the money from this store is going to a really good cause.
Absolutely, without a doubt, the money will be put to fantastic use in supporting people who are living in very, very fragile contexts. Our call to action is just please support our shop, because all the money that we raise will go towards helping all of these people.
And I hear you've made a lot of sales.
Oh my goodness, we can't get the stock out fast enough. I'm serious. As soon as it comes down on the floor, it's pressed, got ready, priced, and it's away. And yet, our shoppers are really happy. Yes. They're really happy with what they're going out with. We haven't had any issues with any of the pricing. And even though we offer, no quibble money back if you're not happy, as yet, nobody's been unhappy with what they've purchased.
Jane, this is gorgeous and so on trend. It matches your leopard print. I'm loving it.
I'm feeling a little bit inspired by this. Yeah, it's good to be able to purchase something in a larger size. And the whole oversized look is really big now. So we're taking everything there with that one item.
Now, Jane, you've kept some special bits in this drawer. Can I see this bag, please?
Of course.
That's beautiful. This is going to match, actually, a dress that I have for a wedding. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Not a mark on it. I love it. It's perfect. I'll take it.
We have been overwhelmed by the generosity of the local community, their response and the embrace that they have given us here. We really already feel like part of the community, like we've been here for years. They're really behind us and everybody's been so positive.
Amazing. So this store is here to stay?
Oh, absolutely. This is something new for Concern, this type of a boutique store, and if we make this a success and if our community rallies around us to support us, there's no reason that we can't have more of these throughout Northern Ireland.
What do you think of my hat? I have found so many things here. There are so many items here that have really nice labels on them. Right now, I've spotted something that I'm going to try on. The sparkles. Right, let's go and try this on. What do you think? I love it.
Right, did you know that 100 is now the new 80? We're talking age with Dame Arlene Phillips right after these.
Let the good times roll at Super Strikes at the Jet Centre. You can now book your lane online. We've got 14 bowling lanes and 4 mini bowling lanes. Plus we serve delicious hot food and snacks, or enjoy a cold beverage with your food after the game. Discover bowling today at the Jet Centre. Jet Centre, entertainment for everyone.
And welcome back to the final part of Robin Elliott tonight. Next up, a lady who is a regular on our TV screens, a regular theatre director as well, and choreographer. We're talking about some brand new research that tells us that 100 is now the new 80. Apparently people are living even longer. I'm going to find out why planning for a longer life is now more important than ever before. I'm pleased to say Dame Arlene Phillips joins us now. How are you today?
Good morning, I'm good. Yeah, really good this morning.
Good to see you. Now, here's a bit of coincidence. Before I found out you were coming on the show this week, I was looking through an old box of cassette tapes from the 1980s, and I came across this exercise tape, and it's you. There you are on the front cover with your leg warmers and everything.
Keep in shape. Yes. Wow. That is a blast from the past. I didn't even know tapes existed any longer.
Neither did I, and I wondered where we got it from. And I think my mother had the tape back in the 1980s, and yeah, do you know what? It still works today.
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Yeah, that was fun. That was all, the exercise, the fitness range. Very different today, but yeah, it's how to keep your body in good shape, keep in shape system.
So is that one of the reasons then that people are living longer? Because from this new research, we've discovered that people in the UK are living longer, and 100 is now the new 80.
I know. I was staggered to hear that. I'm very excited because on my 81st birthday this year, I started to think about, life and how much longer it would go on. And particularly as I have two granddaughters of 3 and 5, and, watching them grow up, being grandma is just the biggest joy in my life. So the idea that I could know them in their 20s I hadn't thought about it before. 200% of the population by 2050, when I probably won't be there, can be living till 100 plus. It's an unbelievable thought.
Now, for a lot of us, this is very exciting news, but for some of us, and I was thinking about a taxi driver who picked me up last night and brought me home from the theatre. He's in his 60s, and he was telling me he's looking forward to retiring very soon. So as life expectancy is getting longer, is retiring in our 60s, is that going to be a thing of the past then?
Well, I would hope, and I've always hoped this is nothing new, that like in Germany, they're very strict about retirement age, 60, I think it is for women, 65 for men, and that's it. There is no option. Here, I know a lot of people who are working and want to go and working way beyond 60, but I think that will mean that life in the future hopefully could be a choice. Those who want to live longer can live longer. Those who want to retire and find other options of ways of living their life to explore, whether it's gardening or dancing, a hip hop class, going to every museum wherever they are, all over the country, maybe even abroad, to see every museum that ever existed. There are life choices you can make to fulfill your life, to be optimistic about the future, to have a strong and healthy life, which of course dance helps. I think if there's opportunity to live a fulfilled life, I think that's exciting.
And you're never going to retire, are you?
I am not going to retire. I have decided that I definitely need to just slow down, think about the work I do, really consider, and anything I'm passionate about, as long as I can, I will do. But I will also make time to watch my grandchildren grow up, to let them know their grandma, because my mother passed away early, so my daughters never had the grandmotherly love from my mother that I had from her. So I do hope that I live to see and watch them growing up.
And are there any exciting projects that you're working on at the moment? Because there always seems to be a theatre production somewhere in your life.
There is, and at the moment, there's a lot going on with Starlight Express. It's 36 years since it was in the theatre in Bochum. It's newly opened in London, and there is talk about it going elsewhere. And I love that show. It's my passion. I've recently in the West End a show called I Wish You Well, based on the Gwyneth Paltrow trial. And we've done London and Edinburgh Festival, Norwich. Hopefully that show is going to go on and extend, Guys and Dolls at the British Theatre. So there are lots of things I've been working on that will be going to different places. And for me, that's great fun. You can always fix something you've always wanted to fix when you do a new production of a show.
Coming back to Starlight Express, when that show first opened, lots of people thought, this is a crazy idea, a show on roller skates, and it has to be the world's most difficult show to put on.
It certainly was. And when Andrew Lloyd Webber asked me to do it, because he knew I could roller skate, I was really excited. I did not even imagine the challenges of doing ramps and bowls and everything else, singing at the top of your voice. But it's a show that is much loved, and I was thrilled to be part of it.
Can we talk about Strictly? Are you still watching it?
I always watch the dances. I always usually watch online because I'm not very good at sitting for an hour and a half, 2 hours to watch any reality show. I'm too impatient. But I love Strictly. I love being part of it. It's, you know, after all, it's a dance show, and we need as much dance as possible to actually keep people watching and to keep people taking up dance, because it really is great for the mind and it's great for the body. It works both ways. You put that music on and you are just filled with a joy and excitement, and moving to it makes life really good. And if we are going to lead these longer lives, we all need to find something that we can fall in love with and you want to do or want to see or want to be part of.
And dance, of course, is something that you could do at any age or any level.
Any age, any level. You know, for even people who are sitting or wheelchair bound, there is so much you can do. There's so much physical movement you can try and attain. And I'm completely in love with dance. I think it's dance that I go and see all the time in theatre, in musicals. I think that's what really has kept me active. So I'm thinking, yes, I'm 81 chronologically, you can't deny that. But inside, no, something else is buzzing along. And, you know, I'm ready for life 100 plus, as is the possibility. I'm ready to take that challenge, and I just want, you know, my mind to keep active, my body to keep active.
And are you still an ambitious person? Is there still anything out there that you need to achieve?
I wouldn't say need any longer. The need to always be in work was definitely the need word. Now I'm loving life if I can take off a day or 2 or 3. And that's never really happened. Now I'm embracing it and catching up on all those, so many things I've just kind of avoided and, you know, stuck in a box or didn't get to do, whatever they may be. No, I hope for everyone, you know, living a longer life becomes a joyous thing for people. I really do.
Well, Arlene, it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
So that's all we have time for on the show this week. To play us out, some brand new music from Caillin Joe. He's just written a brand new song called When You're Just 16. We're going to play the music video right now, and we'll see you back here next week. Good night.
When you're 16, you don't really care, except about cars and girls and how life's not fair. Saying oh everything, but I don't have a clue. You never wanna wake up and have to go to school, and you never care enough to stop and think. Reckon always thinking about girls and money and being in the driver's seat, wasting your life away when you're just 16. Begging my parents to let me go out trying to sneak a quick drink while nobody's looking. Always having to leave, oh, it's not a fair. But sometimes they never know you're trying to nurse out